Welcome to the Golden Ratio live podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
It's fine. I am amazed at this technology. The internet baffles me.
Everybody, please be patient with us as we figure out what the heck we're doing on this podcast. Actually, we know what we're doing podcast-wise. We just don't know what we're doing app-wise. But there should be a way that you can, try to talk to us, and we will totally, answer some questions. It says that there are guests waiting now, which we'll look there in a minute.
Yeah.
So you should be able to talk, and that'll be awesome.
Just not all the time, just like me.
Well, with them, I think I'll be able to, when I would host, NPR call-in radio, hang up on them. You, I cannot hang up on.
Oh, God, you've tried. And we know you've tried.
So before we start taking questions from you guys, because you probably have to figure this thing out too, we did not talk on the podcast this week about the award winners. And in fact, we have not given out the award winners, even though we normally give them on Friday. So we need to do that.
Yeah, it's, as usual, a close race for the bottom.
Guac is the only dog eligible to win Low Maintenance Dog of the Week this week.
Because everyone else had medical issues or
Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
Vink got a hot spot. I mean, Hops and I know it feels like forever, but Hops and Voods were still in Maryland with you this week. This week is when they went to the vet.
Yeah.
So not them.
Yeah.
Brody's been an anxious mess. Remy, that dog, changed his insulin. What did he do? Voods this morning ate a Santa hat. No, I'm sorry. He vomited out the Santa hat this morning.
Yeah, he ate it at some point. Unknown when he ate it.
Probably the 24th.
Oh, Remy was on the counter again eating burnt ends.
I have a gate across the kitchen that Remy respects. Giardad's making a face.
Rolling my eyes.
And Giardad opens the gate and then goes into the kitchen and leaves the gate open and then leaves the kitchen and leaves the gate open.
I'm not a horse. I can't just vault things. I have to open them.
Literally, I can vault it. I just step over it, and your legs are 50% longer than mine.
And 30% is flexible.
Okay, but it just swings open, and then you just have to swing it closed again.
I know. I'm getting better at it, but boy, am I not good at it.
Anyway, Guac gets Low Maintenance Dog of the Week.
Reluctantly.
Who gets Achievement of the Week? No dogs have achieved anything this week.
No one has achieved anything. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
You've said we can't do it for what they're not. No one has,
No, you don't
gone
even
to the hospital.
No, that's right. You can't get it for that. Yeah, I guess it could go to Hops because the orthopedic vet was so impressed with her amputation recovery.
Didn't give her a list of oddities, a list of odd behaviors.
Right, but also she was just kind of well, there's nothing really for us to do for her. Just she's doing great, and we don't want to do anything too aggressive. But if she gets sore, you can just give her some pain meds, and that's it.
I think that's worth it. That's good. That's an achievement. Being good.
All right.
She's so good. I mean, she is very good.
Hops and Guac are the regular rotating cast of the GR Mom and Dad awarded awards every week. They just swap off achievement.
Now, Vink got one once.
Yeah, that once. But I was looking at the list. It's Guac and Hops, Guac and Hops, Hops and Guac, Hops and Guac.
I mean, your criteria excludes people with epilepsy and diabetes.
Voods could get it if he just stopped eating non-foods.
Every week he eats non-foods.
All right, well, I'll put up the poll this evening, or as soon as we're done here, actually, for the People's Choice Award.
Yes, that's the harder thing.
There's all kinds of fan lobbying that goes on. That's super interesting.
Oh, it's fun. We read them all to the dogs, so their feelings get hurt. I'm kidding.
It's all pretty positive anyway. It's we don't. Remy has a cute face, so maybe we should give it to him for that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to try the guests waiting to ask questions thing. We'll see if it works.
If we disconnect, we'll come back.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Look at all these people here. Oh, we got profiles and stuff. All right, hang on. Sorry, this is really boring. All right, ready? We're gonna do this one. Ray, we're gonna put you on. I'm gonna click the button. It says guest is joining in. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really embarrassed that it's me first because one, I don't have a question, but on the other hand, I think it's finally great that the two of you get to hear my voice, as I've been listening to your voices now for some number of years.
Too long.
Yeah, very long. But anyway, I'm also feel good to be the guinea pig on try to get people to speak and ask questions, even though ich habe keine Frage, Ingo. So
kein Problem.
Well, I will point out that Ray, I kind of picked you because we talk also on Facebook all the time, like outside the Golden Ratio, and I just wanted to hear you talk.
There.
So,
yes, there. Okay, we won't talk about that group. Okay.
Ray runs a secret Facebook group that I'm part of that is great fun and not especially embarrassing, but we still will keep it secret.
Yes, I know. I'm just a moderator. We do have I'm not the admin, but I've been blessed for that. Yeah, but anyway. So anyway, but go ahead.
No, just thanks for being our guinea pig.
You're welcome, and thank you for giving this a try. I do have a couple of minor gripes about the app so far, but hopefully they will ask me for feedback down the road. So
we also have there's no search feature, which seems like a real miss.
Yes, they have a discover with a magnifying glass, which, let's be honest, to me that would indicate it'd pop up a text box that you would type into. But and the other thing too is if you come on in, the default is to start some random discussion, which first of all, nobody likes videos that auto start when you go into a website. Nobody, even before then, you remember websites that used to start playing music and stuff when you'd go to the homepage? I mean,
I made one of those in 1994.
I was Angel Fire or GeoCities?
Oh no, Ray! I hosted it on my own server.
Oh,
I am a computer scientist. I was a baby computer scientist back then.
That's true. Yeah, that would have been because I've been on the email since '93, and a coworker of mine had his own server in his house that was on a here I'm going to date myself, an ISDN line coming into a Commodore Amiga.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're old, Ray.
Yes, but we know that. Anyway, I will let people who have actual questions that desire answers to go on. Again, vielen Dank. Bis später.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Tschüss.
Now the question is, can Ray hang himself up? Or can we... No, don't put that.
I can turn my mic off, apparently.
Okay, let's see if that helps.
It's all very interesting.
All right. Oh, okay. Good. No. Yeah. Sorry. I was going to have me block you. All right. Let's see. Jen Coleslaw. Hi. I'm going to click this button. Swap.
We still time. There's 3 seconds, 2 seconds. All right, did it work?
I don't know. It just says guess so. Uh-oh. Jen Coleslaw left. All right. Wait, that's right. We got 20 other people here. Oh, let's try this again. All right. Guest is joining in 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hi, Jen Coleslaw.
How is everybody in the Florida Keys today?
Warm.
Yeah, it is a little toasty in here.
Well,
how are things in Virginia?
Too, by the way, it's like 800 degrees in the DMZ.
Wow.
So you guys, I'm certainly probably know Jen Coleslaw if you follow closely from commenting, but she also runs her own accounts with the Murder Kittens and Sister Helen and news updates. And when we met in person for the first time and got cake together, I was like, she sounds just like her news updates from Sister Helen and the Anxious Beagle.
I really do. Or they sound so much like me, one or the other.
That's true.
So I don't have any questions, but do you have any questions for me?
Yes. How many inflatables did you end up with in your front yard? And please give the species of each one.
Okay. So we have 5. We have 2 T-Rex dinosaurs that are opening presents, but different presents. A snail that is carrying a load of packages on its snail shell. A very small goat that is about the size of Venk, and a reindeer that looks like it has looked into the abyss and will never be the same again. So those are all the inflatables that we, and I also got a Bluetooth speaker that is an indoor outdoor one, and they sing Christmas carols in the late afternoons.
That's awesome.
Pretty good. Very festive.
So
thank you.
Before we switch to other people, I will just add that Jen Coleslaw and I now have like a full set of documentations and plans for our podcast that we're going to start when she and I both get a little more time. So it will not feature GR Dad, but it's going to have a lot of good stuff.
You're just going to talk about me sometimes.
Maybe.
All right. Thanks, Jen Coleslaw. It was good to talk to you again.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We got people waiting here.
Just grab one out of the middle.
Sure. All right. Swapping.
Oh, we could make like a conference call.
Oh my God, that's too complicated.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, that one didn't work. All right, we're going to randomly pick somebody else.
Uh-oh, what do you mean uh-oh?
Literally, the app just says uh-oh. All right, we'll take this one.
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. Guest is joining.
Hi, Hello, Mom and Dad.
Stephen.
Hi.
I was just wondering what made Ingo decide to actually join in on the golden ratio, because I remember when it first started, it was quite a while before you'd see him in any way.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to this either. I'm curious.
It's, I think, just habituation, and I saw that it wasn't dangerous or scary. Nothing terrible was happening to Jen. And look, in part, it's a very, you all are very positive and encouraging. So it was partly that too. Where I was just like, well, they seem nice. They're not going to mock me if I show my toe, my sock.
There were some like early snaps where like if your face would creep in or something, I would put like an emoji over it.
Did you like blocked me out? Yeah, sort of at my request, I think.
I believe strongly in consent for people being on the internet, and so I didn't want to like sneak you in there if you were not cool with it.
Yeah, so I was just tiptoeing in and then realizing that, it's okay. People are willing to, listen and handle this.
But you also, like, when we started the podcast, you were very wary of podcasting and you didn't want to talk much. And now I'll be like sitting on the couch, like doing stuff, and Ingo will be like, are we going to podcast? I think we should do a podcast. I'm like, we did the podcast this week. He's like, but we could do another podcast.
I think it's now an outlet of my dadism. So everyone wants to just hold forth and grumble about stuff. So I do that a little bit, I guess.
That's good. Thank you, Stephen. That was a great question.
Thank you for letting me ask, and thank you for keeping this such a pleasant place to be on the internet. I really appreciate what you do to avoid it becoming filled with the sort of arguments and vitriol that so many places do.
Thank you. We try really hard.
Yeah, that is you're right, Stephen. It's important and it's really nice. Yeah, really makes it nice
for us too. All right, thanks. Let's see. We'll switch over here. Push this. Swap.
Okay.
See if it works this time. So we don't get another uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Emily Otto, hi.
Hi. Can you hear me? Is this working? I'm not
yes, it's working.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you guys got me shortly after you got Queso. As a listener, not in the house. My actual question, can Hopper do bump me now that she is three-legged?
Let's find out. She's right here.
Hops.
I'm going to go over. She's laying down. Hops, bump it. Oh.
She does kind of lift her paw off the carpet and bumps. So she's her core strength is amazing now. She can pull her, load bearing arm up and bump. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Well, I said
She
girl's
still
pretty
knows, and
perfect,
she's still the
so
best dog in the house. Yeah.
All right, I hadn't actually tried that because I was afraid she'd fall over if she was standing up. We are 100% going to have to film that
Yeah.
and post it. That you did a great job, Hops. More evidence that she deserves the achievement of the week.
Just for that alone,
Hopper,
for the
you're so
bumping.
good.
Oh, that's so great! Thank you, Emily. I am chuffed that she can still do bump it, which was like my favorite thing I ever taught her.
That was for my birthday. That's what I told my family. I want a cameo of Hopper doing bump me. They did not follow through. I've disowned them. It's fine.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that question and insight. Let's switch over, and I hope whoever is next has a question for me because Dad just left with Hops because I think the bump it made her decide she wanted to go outside, which is good. Better that than being uncomfortable. Thank you, Emily. All right. Let's see if we can get a new person in. Hi, Carly.
Hello?
Hi, you sound great.
I hope so. I'm Carly. But I had a question for you. It's kind of relating to Hopper, actually.
Great.
I've watched you guys since around when Queso had the foreign object stuff, but
Oh,
I've
yes.
always noticed that she's always had the elevated bowl. Was there a reason why she's always had an elevated bowl or something, or am I just not as observant as I thought?
No, we totally have had those for a long time. Obviously, like it's super useful now because it's like hard for her to get down. I think at some point, like I'm always trying random stuff that I see, like, oh, maybe we should try that. And I think at some point I had seen a thing that was like, it's easier on their digestion to have an elevated bowl.
Oh yeah, it's because she has all of her stomach issues. Poor girl.
Yeah, and so I think that's why I got them in the first place, the elevated bowls, and I honestly don't know that it made any difference to her digestion, but that's why I got them. And then as she started getting older and got like the arthritis in her elbows and Vink too, it's been really nice for them. So it's kind of worked out, but it was one of those things where like, well, it's not hurting anything and we got a spot for it, so that's where it goes. Yeah.
It's good to have it. Thank you very much.
Good question. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Dad's back, by the way.
The water bowl, you mean?
Yeah, why did Hops have elevated bowls?
It prevents Voods from stepping in it all the time.
All right, let's I'm going to scroll down to the bottom.
Sure.
Because maybe those people were waiting longer. I don't know. All right, here we go. Dad, Guac is smashing his ball on Dad's belly right now. Don't Tom. You don't have a
throw.
No throw. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Oh my gosh. So I'm a 27-year-old boomer because I didn't know I asked a question at the beginning and there was like no way to exit out of like requesting. But GR Mom, this is for you. I live in Michigan, but I am moving to Chicago soon. So do you have any advice for me? Because I just took a job there.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. Do you know where you're going to live yet, like neighborhood-wise?
Probably River North because my office is right on Wacker. Like
that's lovely.
Yes.
That's great. Man, other than the winters, there are so many things that I miss about Chicago. I would say like the one thing is, especially if you're like, in River North or whatever, if you're like kind of close to downtown, like it can get really easy to be like, this is my neighborhood and there's a zillion things in your neighborhood. Like it's a wonderful place to live, but there's so much more interesting stuff in all, like Chicago calls itself like a city of neighborhoods, which I know a lot of big cities are, right? Like there's really distinct neighborhoods that have their own feel and stuff. And it's easy to kind of stick to the one or two that you normally go to. So like making a point, especially like when it's warmer and you can walk around more to like, get out to like all of these different places and like try, the different food. Because there's like huge immigrant communities that make like amazing food in all these places and venues like that kind of exploration is like totally worth it. because there's like so many like really distinct neighborhoods with amazing stuff to try. And that was the thing that, like, especially once I got a car, right? Once I graduated and was living there and had a car, like, it was a great joy to me to be able to get around and do that. And there was so much stuff that I missed, you know, in college when it was like basically 3 neighborhoods I would go to.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Congrats on the new job.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna exit now.
Okay.
Figure out how to
We'll
do
take
this.
somebody else off the list.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's take this one here. Smash that. Yes. All right, 3, 2, 1. Nicole, hi.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Oh, excellent. Cool. First of all, hi. I haven't seen y'all since the live show in Maryland. This is so exciting.
Someday, COVID willing, we will do another one.
I'll bring you more vodka. It'll be great.
Even better.
I have a very dumb question for GR Dad.
There's no dumb questions.
It's a little dumb. Okay, so do you know Bob and Doug McKenzie? Like
Yes.
Rick Moranis? Okay.
Totally.
Has anyone ever tell you when you say things, you sound kind of like them when they're like, oh, snow? Like it warms my heart because all of my family's from like Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And so like the way you say a lot of words, I'm like, oh my God, it's like going home.
That's funny. I don't do it on purpose, but I could see that. And they did have a big effect on me. I think I bought their LP.
Wait, explain what this is. I have no idea what you're talking
movie.
about. Wait, who is this?
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Bob and Doug
They're 2
McKenzie.
Canadian brothers.
It's Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
And it was not SNL. It was like a Canadian version of SNL. I don't really know, but they have these characters that they're 2 brothers from the Great White North, and they're just like, oh, hoser, you know, oh, take off, oh, you know, and then they'll get what was it, Getty? They got Geddy Lee to come on their show one time to do a song. And he's like, oh, yeah, $10 is $10, eh? And it's like, it's just so funny. But they're always arguing. But they're like, oh, look out the window. Oh, what do you see? Snow. And it's very funny.
This sounds like I have a mental picture in my head. So I must have, like, as a really little kid, maybe seen something. I mean, I've never watched this if it was a show or
2
whatever.
guys in toques.
Yeah, you got your toques. Yeah.
Good day.
Oh, good day.
You do kind of pull the Canadian accent.
It's so good.
Maybe just when talking about Canadian things. But that was back when Canada was even more exotic, and they would say 2-4, and they would say back bacon, and we think that was super cool when I was living in Cleveland.
Oh. So this is old.
Well, it's
no, like I was not alive when it was first airing, but again, since all my family's from the Upper Peninsula, my dad thought it was the funniest thing in the world, so we would watch it and listen to it.
It could be. They did have a feature movie at some point. I can't remember.
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew. That's right. I'll have to see if that's streaming anywhere because I'll pay $3.99.
I don't think you can stream it anywhere. We've tried, but we just bought so.
I'm not surprised.
Which is also difficult to get, but.
All right, that's a great question, Nicole.
That's quite a callback. Yeah, it's great.
Especially because you knew who it was and was like, oh yeah, it had a big influence on me.
Completely.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, and Nicole, I just looked. You can pay $4 and stream Strange Brew on YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh my gosh. Look at that YouTube coming through. Well, we have the DVD now, so.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Exit this guy. All right. Guest joining. I haven't even had anything to drink. No cocktails of the week in the middle of the afternoon.
No rules. It's no rules.
Oh, no, we lost that one. All right. Let's try again. Yeah, it said, uh-oh.
I like how it says, uh-oh.
Okay. This one. Click the button. Mash the button. Uh-oh. Button's not mashing.
Is it frozen?
It still shows that we're talking. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is the worst podcast ever. I would edit all this.
I'm glad you're having the same issues that I have when I'm mashing the buttons on my phone.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I am very excited to ask this question of you.
Excellent.
I know that CB had ear surgery, but I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, we kind of skipped over it at the time. Like, I think it was like very briefly mentioned, then we never talked about it. So he had an oral hematoma, like AURAL, so an ear hematoma basically. And so it happens when they're like, if they get an ear infection or if they flap their ears around a lot, they can get basically like a blister in the ear flap. And the problem is like they don't heal and they don't drain out. And even if you drain it, like it fills right back up. And so the way that they fix it, and I think we sort of talked about, is they'll do the surgery. So they'll open it up and like drain it out. And then they have to reattach the skin to the cartilage. And so they quilt it. They just sew like a zillion places. And I think we had said on one podcast briefly that there are some pictures where some vets will do it with buttons. So they'll actually sew like a button and then the ear and then another button and sew it together so the buttons like hold everything together while it heals. And we didn't, fortunately or unfortunately, didn't get any buttons, but he has, if you can see in some of the pictures now, it looks like his ear is kind of quilted. But he's done. So it took like a month of healing and now it's supposed to be back to as good as it was.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Okay.
feels like a fairly cosmetic surgery in that it's not like life-threatening to have the fat ear. The vet described it as a cauliflower ear, which I never really knew what it was, but I've read it a lot and nodded along with it a lot.
Yeah, some dogs will get this and they won't get it treated, and then their ear flaps will be like really thick because
like
it kind of
fat
hardens
ears.
in there, like a callus on the inside of their ear flap. And I think it's heavy and kind of uncomfortable. So
Yeah, but it's from shaking your head vigorously if you have long ears, which isn't
yeah,
my problem.
yeah, no, not your problem. Thank God.
Well, thank you so much for letting me know.
Sure.
I actually had a Labrador who swam all the time years ago and had the thick ear. I never knew that's what it was. The vet never did anything with it. So
That's totally it. Yeah.
that's it. It's just a one of the ears was just thicker than
Yep.
the other.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well,
Well, thank
cool.
you so much.
Thanks for your question. All right, let's try to swap here. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. You sound great.
Oh, great. That's awesome. I've never used this app. I didn't even realize I had requested, even though I was going to anyway. Hey, couple things. Number one, dibs on that Mackenzie Brothers thing.
Yeah.
Totally get what she was saying. When she said it, it dawned on me. And then you've got to check out their 12 Days of Christmas song, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
making a list over here.
Yes.
I remember that one too somehow. It had 2 golden toques in it, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
It sure did. And a beer somewhere.
And a
And
beer.
a beer.
That's
I
the
have
one.
heard that.
That's the
And a
Oh
one.
my
beer
God.
in a
All
tree. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, my dad got me hooked on them as well. And I'm not I'm probably pretty much about your guys' age or your age, Jen. So that's how it's dated. It's back there sometime. Like that. One thing, you guys have your dogs swimming all the time, and it's great. And I know Goldens, they just love to swim. Mine really didn't care for it, but my sister-in-law's dog did. But she would constantly get ear infections from swimming all the time. Do you ever have that problem?
We have like every dog. There's at least one dog in the house with an ear infection at any given point, I think.
Yeah, but
It's
that
maybe not quite
predates
that
the
bad.
swimming, though, right? They often had ear infections before too.
Yeah, I mean, I think here, I don't know if it's because of the salt water or just because it's like tide refreshed and we don't have, like sometimes in the canals, like people who live on the canals, like that water can get a little grosser, I guess. It doesn't move as much, but since we're in the open water, stagnant maybe. I mean, they still have the tides, but we don't get, I think, too much from the water. Like when I was a kid, the lake I grew up on in Crystal Lake, like you had it was just, you get swimmer's ear all the time. You get ear infections, and you were supposed to put hydrogen peroxide in your ears when you got out. And I have this vivid memory as a kid of some other little kid on the beach, and his mom had put hydrogen peroxide in his ears, and he was foaming out of his ears like a bird dog. We do have like a flush, like an antimicrobial flush in like a big ass bottle that you stick into their ears and you like fill it up, and it smells kind of like Dimetap, that like grape cold syrup.
Yeah.
When you're a
Yeah.
kid. And you kind of rub their ears and then they shake it out, and that helps. So if any of them do start getting red, I'll use that on them. But they don't. Generally, they're pretty good from just like day-to-day swimming. And I guess also like Hop, a lot of them don't get their heads wet, like Guac will and Remy, but like Vink and CB, like they kind of walk around and do their laps, but they keep their heads out of the water most of the time, so that may help too.
Well, yeah, and I never thought about the fact that since you guys are actually in salt water there, every dog here that has swam that I know, they get it. They're swimming in lakes and ponds.
Yeah.
And, I guess there would be more bacteria, I guess is the word I'm thinking of, over there. But I didn't know if there
Probably,
was any
yeah.
sort of preventative, but I didn't realize they had that microbial flushing thing for their ear.
That stuff is great, and they hate it, of course. They're like, why are you squirting? I'm
Of course
sure
they
it
do.
sounds awful.
Of course.
Yeah, we get it. We've been prescribed it from the vet, but I think you can get it on Amazon, just like an antimicrobial ear flush. And that, I don't know which dog. Oh, my dog Pie, who's one of the two, my first dog who I had before the squad, she constantly had ear infections. And I use that stuff on her almost every day, and it helped a ton.
Well, I have to remember that next time, because that's a part of the reason why we didn't take him out swimming a whole lot, because my sister-in-law's dog Autumn would she loved swimming. She loved the balls and throw them in the pond. She'd get them, and she's always getting ear infections, and they were bad.
Yeah.
She had really big, thick, floppy ears. She was built a lot like Remy.
Sturdy man.
Even darker, and just a gorgeous dog. And poor thing, that was the only thing she ever suffered from, was those ear infections, because she loved swimming.
Yeah. We also have antibiotics for the ears, like the topical stuff. Once there's an infection, we'll smear that in there too. We go through that pretty well.
Yeah, that's from the vet. And then we also use if they start getting red, we have the Zymox, it's like hydrocortisone, and that you can just get at the pet store. It's not prescription. And that often, like if they are going to start scratching, which maybe opens it up, that really helps too. So we don't need to turn to the prescription stuff too much.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that little advice. There's a few things I didn't know that I could do as a preventative, trying to keep them away from the vet as opposed to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
take all the time.
Worth a shot. Like hit them with everything that you can get online, and then see if that prevents it, and then you're good.
Right.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank
thanks,
you.
Heather.
Mhm.
All right. Let's do one or two more. Here we go. All right. Sorry, there's like 35 of you waiting, and then we'd be doing this podcast for like 6 hours.
Some point we got to feed the dogs.
Uh-oh. I think we're going to get another uh-oh from the app.
Uh-oh. That's a high ratio of uh-oh.
I know. Hey, it's a new app. That's why we're trying it out.
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's see. Trying again. 3, 2, 1. Ah, there it goes. Hello.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, my question for you guys is, for both of you, if you could both make the same amount of money, would you quit your jobs and just do the golden ratio stuff? Or do you guys enjoy your jobs and working?
Yeah. I love my job and working. I'm sure there's a threshold somewhere. Like if they have those internet sites that are like the estimated net worth of people, where you can like look up celebrities and it tells you. So I'm in there.
What?
I'm on those sites. Yes, it says that my net worth is $67 million.
That's a hoax.
My net worth is not 67. It's not 6.8. It's not even like $670,000.
Where did it come from?
I don't know. So, but if I made what those internet websites think I make, then maybe I would quit my job and just do the golden ratio. Like 1 year, if I had a net worth of $68 million, I would quit my job for sure. Yeah. But no, I really love the stuff I do. Being a professor is great. I love doing research. I like teaching. If I could never have to grade again, like that would be great. But I like, the travel and the speaking. I really love what I do. So unless it were like I really couldn't do both and the golden ratio was going to pay me a ton of money, I wouldn't quit my job.
Yeah, I would be more flexible. My price is lower
Yes.
because I've I did a lot of meetings and memos and bureaucracy and the stuff that goes along with work. I've had a lot of that.
Deadlines.
Yeah. Me too.
Deadlines. Yeah, so if I could keep the income, I would probably be like, it's fine. I've done enough. I've done enough.
Nice.
Yeah, we have been turning we used to like really steadfastly refuse like sources of income from the golden ratio stuff. And this last year, we've been refusing less of that. We've just kind of turned on stuff that's like easy and non-obtrusive.
Like this thing.
Right.
Yeah. But that's, I think I was more inclined to do that because, a lot of like my income outside of the university. So most of my income comes from outside the university. And a lot of that is from like traveling and speaking at conferences, which zero have been happening because of COVID.
Right.
And so it's fine. Like, we don't live a really lavish lifestyle outside the vet bills. But man, vet bills are a lot. So it's been an easier decision to be like, all right, like we still have all of these expenses, and so let's turn this on. But we probably could turn it into a machine that would bring in like a regular person's income. But that, I think as a fan, like I don't love that from accounts that I follow. I mean, it can be done really well. But like the super heavy marketing and sponsored posts and all of that, like occasional ones are great, but like sometimes it becomes like every day because like that's where you're earning your money. We don't want to do that. So
Agreed. As a fan, I don't think we'd want to see that either. So
yeah. And
yeah.
that's kind of what we care about, right? Like we do this because like it's fun to bring the joy of all these dogs and kind of their journeys to people. Like that's the really enjoyable thing about it and why it's not a job for us. And if like the sponsored stuff we do, like BarkBox we did the partnership with, or like Vetster, which is like the app that we use. Like, I mean, like literally it's stuff that we use and like, and people ask us for advice about anyway. And so that's like really easy to be like, we love our Bark Boxes. And so like, of course we'll like put a promo link to BarkBox and talk about it. But we turn down tons and tons of like paid, offers to do sponsorships and paid stuff. Cause it's just like, I don't even know what that thing is. I'm not going to just try to sell it to you.
I'm not doing any makeup tutorials anytime soon. No offense.
People might pay for that, though.
No.
Well, thanks so much for the question. That was a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Inga, we're going to do one more.
All right.
You want to pick?
Oh, we're doing blind picking, aren't we? Are we doing blind picking?
We have been doing blind picking.
All right.
One more.
Buttons.
We'll see if we get an uh-oh. All right, 3, 2,
it's encouraging. Not an uh-oh.
Oh, no, we're going to get an uh-oh.
Oh.
Right. No. Hi, Sarah. You did not turn into an uh-oh. Hi.
Yay, that's exciting.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm here with my mom, and we're the ones where, I don't know, it's so long ago. Mom finally gave up her calendar for the Golden Ratio calendar.
Oh my God, I remember this so clearly.
25 years of Autobahn calendar gone. And so we just want to say thank you, because like the whole family's still freaking out. Like it's a little change, but like it's shocking. We're still like, that's not a bird. I'm looking at Guac, like what's happening here? But anyways, we just want to say thank you because we love the calendar. And our question is, when we watch you and the dailies and everything, we keep going back and forth with who's the most spoiled dog.
Oh,
yeah.
That is such a good.
Yeah.
What's your theory?
Oh my goodness. Well, we more than not. I always vote it's going to be Guaco Man because he's got those big eyes.
He does.
And how does he not play you like a fiddle with those big eyes?
Well, he plays me. They all play me like a fiddle. They're all equally. I would do almost anything for almost any of them. And Jen's more like, we have to have a line. We have to have some rules.
I think that's a quote. Like, there need to be some boundaries. Yeah. Like, most of the dogs are beggars, which is a thing that we're fine with. But
very good. They're very good at it.
They're very good beggars. And like Remy crawls up on top of you kind of beggar. So Inga we'll be sitting on the couch with our dinner, and Inga will just be totally fine holding his plate over his head and then like take a bite off the plate and then and I was like, we are not eating holding our plates over our head. This is an unacceptable way of life. We can't do this.
The quote of me being a roasty of a human is not totally inappropriate.
I would say, like, among who's the most spoiled, I mean, Guac definitely gets the most stuff. Like, he gets to come in the car. He gets, like, walks and fetch. He's very good with those big eyes. But I would say part of it is, like, an earned privilege because, like, even though he was such a terror when we got him, he's actually quite good now. And so we can bring him and do stuff with him. In terms of just, like, indulgence, like... Maybe Hops.
Hops is always going to be our favorite, right? She's the first. She asks very little.
Sweet.
Yeah, and when she begs for something, we'll give it to her. Yeah.
Oh, if she shows any sign of wanting anything, it's like, yes, of course you can have that, Hops. Where the other dogs, like, they're asking for stuff all the time, and so then we're like, come on, like, so dramatic, you're fine, but not with Hops.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, but all right. So in terms of just like visuals, though, right now GR Dad and I are on the couch, and Vink is in GR Dad's spot on the couch. GR Dad is not in the spot, and he's like with his hands gently brushing out her extra fur as we talk. So
there's a real debate between me and Vink as to whether it's my spot or Vink's spot on the couch.
Vink usually wins, though. I mean, Inga will be sitting in that spot and then like watching TV, and Vink will come up to him and just stare at him, and then he'll get up and leave and let her.
She's the alpha dog. It's sad.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's too funny.
They're all pretty well indulged.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you, Sarah. That was a great question.
No, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful new year.
Thank you, and we're really honored that you picked our calendar. Tell your mom.
It's amazing. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks. Bye. All right, everybody. I think that's good for questions. So this is a no rules podcast. So I guess we don't have to do a German word of the week or taste.
No rules, no alcohol. It's a bit disappointing.
No rules, no booze. No rules. I don't know.
Too bad.
So yeah, I guess that's it then. We'll have a regular podcast at the normal time next week on whatever, Wednesday or Thursday. And you got anything else you want to add?
No, happy holidays to everyone, and relax until New Year's. These days don't count.
Yeah, that's right. And until next time, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Yeah, don't bite.
Bye.
Bye.